How could an unlettered man, who never read a book or wrote a word, become the source of the most studied book in human history? Stay tuned. You'll hear surprising quotes and perspectives you've likely never come across before about any other person in history. Historians call it an extraordinary fact that the Prophet Muhammad was unlettered. And yet, the book revealed to him would later be acknowledged by both Muslim and non-Muslim linguists as a literary masterpiece of unmatched eloquence. We will later hear Western scholars describe the extraordinary linguistic beauty and uniqueness of the Qur'an. But first, let us see what they have said about the Prophet himself being unlettered.
Indeed, the very fact that he was unlearned was rightly supposed to increase the miraculous nature of his revelations. R. F. Dibble, American Orientalist and a professor of English at Columbia University.
We have one indubitable fact, namely, that Muhammad knew neither letters, nor anything of what we call science or learning. Henri de Boulainvilliers, French writer and historian.
Muhammad was an illiterate barbarian. His youth had never been instructed in the arts of reading and writing. Edward Gibbon, British historian and politician. Note: in Gibbon's time the word barbarian referred to those outside the Greco-Roman literary world, not in the modern sense of savage. Gibbon elsewhere acknowledged the Prophet's talents and influence with respect.
The evidence for Muhammad's ability to read and write is very weak. Sprenger is wrong in calling him a learned man. Theodor Noldeck, eminent German Orientalist specializing in Old Testament studies and Semitic languages, including Arabic, Persian and Syriac.
It is probable that he could neither read nor write, and it is almost certain that he could not have done so sufficiently to have made use of any of the Jewish or Christian scriptures. Edward H. Palmer, English Orientalist, explorer and translator of the Qur'an.
He himself was only an illiterate man. Émile Durkheim, French Orientalist and journalist.
Firstly, and above all, he was not a man of letters. Tor André, scholar of religious history and bishop in the Swedish Church.
A great rude human soul, rude, untutored, that cannot even read. Thomas Carlyle, British essayist, historian and philosopher. Note: by rude, Carlyle meant raw, untutored, uncorrupted by custom, not impolite. In fact, he praised the Prophet's manners and dignity elsewhere in his lectures. Clearly, distinctly, most consciously, did he dictate to his scribe what had come to him, for he could not write. Immanuel Deutsch, German Jewish scholar of Semitic and Middle Eastern studies.
Muhammad, as an unlettered man, naturally addressed his countrymen in their common everyday speech. Stanley Lane Poole, British Orientalist and archaeologist.
What is known as education he clearly had not received. It is certain that he was not as a child taught to read or write. D. S. Margoliouth, British Orientalist and Professor of Arabic at Oxford University.
There was no other way for the unlettered prophet, whose belief in his mission was unshaken, to overcome the difficulties entailed by his closer acquaintance with the tenets of other religions. Snoek Hergronje, Dutch scholar of Oriental culture and languages, and professor at Leiden University.
Illiterate himself, scarcely able to read or write, he was yet the author of a book which is a poem, a code of laws, a book of common prayer, and a Bible in one, and is reverenced to this day by a sixth of the whole human race, as a miracle of purity, of style, of wisdom and of truth. Bosworth Smith, British Orientalist who taught at Trinity College, University of Oxford.
He was deeply read in the volume of nature, though entirely ignorant of letters. Charles Mills, English historian and Orientalist. Note: Mills, ignorant of letters in 19th century usage, simply meant unable to read or write, not ignorant in a broader or insulting sense.
Muhammad is called unlettered because with him writing and learning and wisdom were innate, not acquired. Annemarie Schimmel, German Orientalist specializing in Islamic and Persian studies and Sufism, and professor at Harvard University.
Himself an unschooled man, Muhammad was nevertheless responsible for a book still considered by 1/8 of mankind as the embodiment of all science, wisdom and theology. Philip K. Hitti, scholar on Middle Eastern history and Semitic languages, and professor at Princeton and Harvard Universities.
He had not studied philosophy in the school of Athens or Rome, Persia, India or China, yet he could proclaim the highest truths of eternal value to mankind. Unlettered himself, he could yet speak with an eloquence and fervor which moved men to tears of ecstasy. K.S. Ramakrishna Rao, Indian philosopher and psychologist, and served as chairman of Geetam School of Gandhian Studies.
As we've seen in this episode, the fact that Prophet Muhammad could neither read nor write is widely recognized by Western scholars. Yet many of these same scholars also acknowledge that the Qur'an revealed to him is a literary masterpiece, beyond the reach of imitation. That will be the focus of the next 2 episodes. Thank you for watching.